future of the cell phone, the economic and technological environmental scan. Our economic changes in cell phone technology have really been linked to research and development funding. Waning commitments to research and development are threatening the future innovation of the United States. The research and development from the 1960s spawned the development of the Internet in the 1990s. Federal government funding has been the primary source for basic research that serves as a foundation for companies to understand how to use technology. Because our federal government is no longer investing in research and development the way they were 30 years ago, it is going to be up to private funding, investors, and other countries to develop the future of cell phone technology. In the future, cell phones will provide those in rural and poor areas a new freedom that will change the concept of rate plans. It's not the big telecoms that will be the big providers in the industry. It'll actually be the small mom and pop shops that can distribute to the small and rural areas in poor countries. Cell phone technology will be affordable for everyone, not just those that can afford the rate plans here in the United States. In 2007, there were more than 2.3 billion cell phone subscribers. By 2011, there will be almost 4 billion, if not more. From a technology standpoint, cell phones are changing dramatically from what we know them today. In the future, it will no longer be just a cell phone, but a communication device that can bring in all types of media to include music, television, movies, radio, and multitudes of other things. The concept of dialing phone numbers will be obsolete. Keypads will give way to touchscreens and voice-activated devices, and cell phones will drive a market that will become a slave to fashion, where color and context are really more important than function. Technological change will also prove that cell phones will bypass and merge with PCs and laptops and provide all functions on one device. The $100 laptop concept will become obsolete by the evolution of the cell phone, and the development of nanotechnology will continue to provide smaller and more efficient, more versatile devices. Mobile consumer devices will evolve into extremely useful multi-purpose platforms combining PDAs, cellular telephones, voice over IP, computers, wireless payment systems, music players, cameras, video players, and much, much more. The future cell phone may operate as a small portable device and eventually dock into a PC at a home or office type environment. The future of the cell phone holds many, many promises for the evolution of nanotechnology. The soft cell phone made of cotton is a concept that's already been developed. Designed by King Yang, the soft phone is made out of electronic cellulose structures that give the phone its shape. The phone uses gestures like squeezing to hang up and touch to make inputs, and the fibers are optically clear to take signal and allow light energy to pass and display contextual menus. The future of cell phones is really about the change in the technology. The nanotechnology that is going to become available in the future will allow us to see a dramatic difference in the devices that we have available today. Next, we have a concept demonstration by Nokia in what they call their morph concept on how they see the cell phone evolutionizing from where it is today to where it will be in the very near future.
The Future of the Cell Phone, Political and Legal Environmental Scan by Earl Gladden. Let's talk about the different international policies. In India, the policy to be called Guidelines for Complying with Limits for Human Exposure to Electromagnetic Fields is likely to ban telephone companies from putting up cellular towers in schools, hospitals, and rooftops of large residential buildings. The guidelines assume importance in view of recent developments in Europe, where many governments are considering adopting new, stringent norms than those specified by the International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radiation Protection. Earlier this year, the French government had warned against the dangers associated with the use of mobile phones, especially by children, while other nations such as Germany, the UK, and the European Environmental Agency have asked citizens to reduce exposure to mobile handsets. When announced, the policy will also ensure India is among the select countries that have guidelines to provide protection against alleged side effects from mobile radiation. Let's talk about the next phase of advertisement. New businesses operate on the wider spectrum of mobile value-added services. When a person dials a number and cell phone plays instant advertisement for a stipulated period and then connects you to the desired number, cell phone customers who are using this will be paid to use for using this service. There should also be a smooth transition between advertisement and each call. Now, the average cell phone charges. Nebraska is the nation's leader when it comes to fees and taxes for cell phones, according to a new survey which represents the nation's wireless companies. Nebraska Universal Service Fund is the highest in the nation of any such state fund. There is also a special business tax assessed mainly in Omaha and Lincoln, known as the occupation tax. Nebraska's monthly charge on cell phone bills averaged 22.5%, state and local charges totaling 18.3%, plus a federal rate of 4.2%. In contrast, cell phone customers in Oregon pay a total of 5.85% in state and federal charges. At least 5 other Nebraska cities, to include Bellevue, Columbus, Norfolk, South Sioux City, and Seward, charge lower local occupation taxes on cell phone customers. Now, the average tax burden. Cell phone customers in rural areas without occupation taxes generally pay less than customers in about 30 states. The average tax burden, federal, state, and local, on cell phone customers has dropped, but only slightly, going from 15.27% in 2003 to 15.19% in 2007. The federal tax on cell phone customers has dropped since 2003, when it was 5.07%. That occurred because of the gradual elimination of a federal excise tax, which went from 3% in 2003 to 0 in 2007. However, during the same period, the Federal Universal Service Fund charge rose from 2.07% to the current 4.19%. Now, political commissioners affect rates. Public utility commissioners are either appointed or elected, and the vast majority is either Republican or Democrat. While data and limitations preclude casual interpretations, the political affiliation of elected commissioners may be correlated with the lease prices that they set. Further, retail prices may vary with the political affiliation of appointed regulators. Let's talk about the global mobile data services. It is forecasted that mobile service will surpass the fixed internet services in 2008. Voices over Internet Protocol, or VoIP, telephone service is important cash centers for government, state and local. The Federal Communications Commission has been reluctant to categorize VoIP as a data service or a telecommunications service, as well as to regulate it. VoIP businesses aren't subject to the same rules as traditional telephone companies, which are governed by state regulators. VoIP businesses are concerned by the guilt by association inference to regulations which would bring new taxes. Lobbyists believe telephone tax laws are too old and outdated to apply to VoIP providers. In summary, the international telecoms are making policies to regulate the industries. U.S. telecoms should follow suit with foreign counterparts or get out in front. States should be more uniform with their prices and fees. Regulations will need to be updated to address technologies of the future. The new economy will make a difference in the future. Thank you.